Yeah, BTech students, welcome to this demo lesson in which I explain how to solve the final exam term 2 BTech subject. In BTech subject, we talk mainly about Unit 10, which is talking about database systems, and we have the exam folder. You will have the following three files. The database itself, which is blank one. You need to perform set of steps to produce this database. And we have the exam Excel sheet or workbook, which contains the tables that you need to use in your database system. And we have the logo, which represents the database logo or the organization logo. Our database is talking about, car registration, which contains three tables. Car details, information about the cars registered in this database. And the driver details, the information about the owners of these cars. And the last table is the state details or the addresses of these drivers, which means, the car addresses. So we need to export these three tables into our Microsoft Access database. The database is empty. We will start with question number one, asking you import the three tables into your blank database system named exam. How we do that? Now we go to external data and then we choose the Excel sheet from which we need to export or import the tables and then press OK. Now he found three tables in this Excel sheet, car details, driver details, and state details table. We will start with the car details and then choose next. We should tick this option, first row contains column headings, which is yes. Next, you need to assign primary key for this table, which is the car plate number will be automatically selected, and finish. Now, you might guess this message, index or primary key cannot contain a null value, which will maintain later. And we have table 1 ready to use now. Now, we do that for the other two tables, Excel, and choose the Excel sheet, and then press OK. Choose the second table, which is the driver details table, and press next. You should tick this option, and then next, assign primary key, which will be automatically selected, and press next, finish. We have the second table. Now we do the same steps for the third table, which is the state or address details table, like this. Yes, click this option. Next, assign primary key will be automatically selected, which is the state code, and finish. We have three tables now. Remember that we have got this problem here, that the primary key cannot contain null values. You open the table and you find that we have 41 records, which means, we have some empty records. You just go to the empty records like this and press delete. Yes, so that we have 22 instead of 41 now, which is true. Now save and close that table. So we've imported these three tables into our Microsoft Access database system. Question number 2, assign primary keys as follows. How to do that? We need to open each table using a design view and make sure that the primary key is given for a specific field. Here, we put the cursor here and press primary key. You should see, the key icon here, and save and close, and do the same for the second table. We have it already here, so no need to change anything. And I think it's done for the third table. We need to do nothing here. So we have the three tables ready to use now, and the primary keys have been assigned. We move to question number 3. Open the table car details and open the table car details and create a validation rule. Now we have two types of cars. Cars that come with automatic transmission and other cars come with manual transmission gear. So we need to put this, assign a validation rule for this field in the car details table. And when we finish it, we need to produce an error message in case the user or the database user will assign a different value rather than automatic or manual. to appear. How we do that? We go to the car details and open it using the design view, and go to the transmission here and go to the validation rule and write automatic or manual. These two options only acceptable in this field, and in case the user will insert another value, he will receive this error message: error, please enter only automatic or manual. So this message will appear in case the user of the database will try to insert a word or an expression rather than automatic or manual. How do that? We just save yes and close. We will test that to see that it works properly, and we go to the automatic here, for example, or go to the manual here, and in case I enter another value, you will receive this message: error, please enter only automatic or manual. I'm not sure, it was, I think, manual, and now will be accepted by the, otherwise will not be accepted. Even if you add another character, that will not be accepted. So that's it for the validation rule. Now, number 4, produce the following relationships between the three tables. I'll just remind you that these video clips will be 10 minutes each, because I'm using free software that allows only for 10 minutes in each clip. So I will produce relationships between the three tables as follows: between car details table and driver details table 1 to infinity, which means the car is owned by one driver or owner. However, the one owner can own more than one car, and this is also applies in the second relationship, which is driver details table and state details table. So we can have some drivers from Florida, for example, means infinity to 1 or 1 to n means the car number of cars can go or can have the same address: Florida or California or New York, and so on. How we do that? We go to the database tools and relationships. Now you will have some default tables. You need to remove them and just bring the database tables here and make sure you can see all the fields in each table and make them like that. And remember, relationship 1, 1 to infinity or 1 to n, car details table and driver details table. So car, what are the common fields between here and here? It is the owner license, the owner license. So I will produce a relationship like this and make enforce relationship and create it. You should see that it is a 1 to infinity, which means that the driver can own more than one car. However, the one car is owned by one owner only. The second relationship is driver details and state details table, the same criteria. So owner or state code can relate to the code with enforced relationship. What happens? Let me see. What is the error here? State code. Sorry, with the state code. I'm sorry. I made the relationship with the state name. Create. And now 1 to infinity, which means the state, or we have some cars from the same states. Which means 1 to n or 1 to n. This is the relationships that should be produced between the three tables. So I'll save the relationships and close and move to the next question. Now, question number 4 or 5, sorry. We need to produce forms now. Remember, we have three tables. Now we need to produce a form for each of these three tables. How do that? I'm not sure if we will be able to do that in the same video clip. I think the timing is 9 minutes, which means I stop here and do the forms in the next step. Thank you.